Hello, welcome to today's Facebook Live. Today we are going to discuss one of the challenges which we all face while communication, and we are not ready to accept it. People will readily accept that they are not good speakers, they will accept that they are not good in writing, but when it comes to listening, people are like, no, what's there to improve on it? So, and this is a challenge. Selective listening is a challenge which I'm sure we all face. So that is why I got my couple of friends, Manoj and Sagar, who both are very good listeners in my experience. So Manoj, let's start with you. How to avoid that selective listening?
So I think that there are two problems that I generally see people do when you speak about this. One is that whenever someone shares a problem or speaks their heart out, instead of actually listening to them and understanding them, we oftentimes simply jump into the solution and say that, okay, this is this is what you need to do, 1, 2, 3, instead of actually understanding what they're going through. And second thing, what happens is that we as human beings, oftentimes, what our minds do is our mind chooses to listen what it wants to listen. Our mind chooses to interpret what it wants to interpret rather than what the other person is actually saying. And we don't really put an effort to understand what the other person is saying and why he is saying it.
Yeah, we like to fill gaps with our experiences. I know this is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. I'm sure you can share more insights on this.
Yeah, I think the other aspect is that, we try to judge the person or judge the conversation, whether it be first time, whether it be you know a particular person, then you sort of get to know about the habit of that person. Then what happens is later, even if the person has some serious or genuine problem, because you have a preconceived notion about the person, you tend to do selective listening. That's one thing. And the second important point is, can we improve upon having the lens that we have for different peoples in the society, whether it be a security guard, whether it be a CEO? Can you be part of their happiness, or even if they are going through the bad phase? Now, why this is important is, Rupak, is because most of the times people are happy to listen to their bosses, to their teammates, but at the same time, if a concern comes from someone who is not that educated or who is not communicative in nature, we try to just think that, okay, what is it that this guy has to say?
Yeah.
So the main thing is working upon the ego level. It starts from within, and then it takes it and then you have to take it to the action. And that's my side of what I feel is people are doing wrong and they can improve.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, so it's like almost majority of stuff is covered by you both. So one thing what I strongly believe is better listening will actually make you a better person, because it actually brings down your ego level, it brings down to your judgmental level, and it actually makes you a better person. Now, one thing what you need to understand is, we are ready to listen when the concept is entirely new. If I'm meeting you for the first time, I'm very interested, okay, what do you do, what it is. But the moment I know around 70% of your background, I'm like, now I know this is a IT guy who does 9 to 5 job, Monday to Friday. He might be going for a gym on weekends, playing guitar. So we already have those notions, and due to that, it becomes difficult after a particular time. Now, why this happens is because going from 70 to 75, let's say I know already 70% of your background. Now going from 70 to 75 or 80 requires a lot of time. Whereas going from 0 to 70 is quicker, there is that instant gratification. I know more. But going from 70 to 80 takes a lot of time, but it almost takes the same effort of 0 to 70. And that is where, once you cross that 70%, I say that is the time you actually start knowing the other person.
Absolutely.
Actually start understanding it. Initially it was just his biodata what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one of the important aspect what you need to do. And coming from the area is one of the things what you need to avoid is when you're listening to someone, okay, the objective is something can only go inside of you when you are empty inside. When I say empty inside, I'm not expecting zero thoughts. What I'm actually expecting is your emotional thoughts, something that is troubling you. Are you sharing it with someone else?
Absolutely. And you know what? I think what you said is a very important point. I think you should try to develop I don't know anything mindset. If you do that, it will improve your learning curve as well. Rupak, one thing that I wanted to know is that recently you did you made a e-course on the how can someone improve their listening skills. Can you just share with that?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I am a strong believer listening can make you a better person. So we did a course of Listen to Understand that will help you to improve your influence and communication skills with active listening. Listening is something that requires work, something that requires you to go to next level. And when people have this notion ki hey, in professional life it makes sense, I can do selective listening. Yes, you can, but initially that has to be clear. Like for example, if I'm meeting him, in the meeting I would say, okay, in this meeting these are our top 3 agendas. If we have time, we'll discuss other things. Okay, but that mindset shift should be there in the first go. You cannot do selective listening once the conversation has started.
Absolutely.
You did a mistake in the start. Now the conversation will go haywire because it was not decided. So coming to back to the same topic, is about course is all about trying to make you a better person and at the same time connecting with others so that it helps you to increase influence. Okay, I'm sure as a listener yourself, you have experienced this stuff that many people call you as their best friends, but they might not even be aware what you do for your living. That is the amount of influence where you can create, where you don't have to speak. And as God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah.
So we are actually designed to listen more and speak less. In fact, if you see now, many people are not aware of this. You need to catch this. Listening, or I would say hearing, is the most developed skill.
Yeah.
You cannot close it at your own will. It's a most adaptable skill. You can do it anywhere, anytime. And that is the skill that has evolved a lot, because initially everyone was in darkness at night. Hearing was the thing that kept us alive. So trust me, it is an insight. If you work on this will help you to connect better. I will share the link about the course. I'm sure it will help you to increase influence by listening to someone actively and at the same time build better relationship. So thank you so much, Manoj, for joining us. And as usual, Sagar, you are okay.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.